And the art of letting go, and what attachments really are in this world, and how they could be preventing us. Like, they could possibly be the block between us and what we really want. And a lot of the time we put our attachments there because we think they're going to put us on the path to what it is that we actually want. But it actually creates a story within us. And so we actually, once we can look at the attachment, look at the story that we've associated around that attachment, and then we can start to break it down and let it go and release it, then we can actually create more space within our body, within our vessel, to bring more things in. Once we've gotten rid of the attachment, it literally creates space within our energetic field, and then more things can come through that will put us on the path to our attachment. So this is something that is huge for me right now. Hi Sasha, love you. This is something that is absolutely huge for me right now, attachment. So through my life, I have literally been letting go of everything, just one thing after another, releasing those things that I've held so closely and so dear to my heart that I think are going to be serving me at a whole another level. Oh my gosh, Dwayne. Things that I think are going to be serving me at a whole nother level. But then when I've actually started to release them and let go of my attachments to things, it's allowed the space within my body, within my energetic field, to actually create more space for more amazing things to come in. So this is the biggest one. I thought I'd literally just been unpacking all the stuff for like so long, of all the things that I thought that I needed and were keeping me strong and safe and all of those things. But I literally like let go of all the superficial things, let go of, you know, the beautiful car, the beautiful house, like partners that weren't serving me, like let go of some business partners, some businesses, all that sort of stuff. And then really, and all of the other stuff, like, you know, and just like spend a lot of my time in nature, like not needing to do all those other things and be around all the people all the time, so that I create space for myself, so that I can be in the environment that serves me the most. But in saying that, this is my favoriteest attachment that I am getting rid of tomorrow. And I am like in two minds about it, right? Because this attachment literally has kept me warm for the last 20 years, like physically warm and cuddled and held within my body. And this attachment is what the Native Americans say actually connects you with spirit, with great spirit. It actually connects you with the star beings that want to communicate us. It literally is the tentacles within your body that allows expansion throughout your field, and it has its own energy and its own spirit, and it's where our wisdom is stored. It's our DNA. It is everything amazing in this world, and that is the lineage that I believe in. That's my faith, I guess you'd call it, but it's really just an elemental connection to the earth, but also connection to spirit. So my attachment that I am getting rid of tomorrow, that connects to source, connects to the elements, connects to the star beings, connects to my inner wisdom and my ancestors and my DNA, is my fucking hair. I'm cutting it all off, even though I know that. I know all of those things are super nourishing, and in what I believe in, that is everything. Like, these are our tentacles of life. Our DNA and all our past and memories is all stored there. So tomorrow, because there is a lot of energy that I am wanting to shift at the moment, and I'm coming into, well, I've stepped into my new business and all of that, and so I know it's so big. I have had long hair for 20 years. 20 years I have had this attachment. And so my question to you is, what are you attached to? What is something that you absolutely fucking love, that you are super attached to, that you think is serving your soul, but could actually be preventing more amazing stuff coming into your energetic field? And so for me, coming into a new business that's got, like my other businesses that I've stepped out of are hairdressing salons. So it's, in my industry, I'm iconic with my hair. Like, that's what a lot of the girls have actually said to me. They're like, you can't cut your hair. It's like our icon, you know, like everybody looks up to your hair, you know, blah, 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 blah. And that was just really insightful for me. Yeah, 20 years I've had it long. I'm 38, so I've had it long ever since I was like 18 or something, you know. So for me to get rid of this attachment is actually, hey Courtney, how was the photo shoot today? This is one of our team, one of our staff there. So I'm just talking about how I'm cutting my hair off tomorrow, Courtney. You'll be there. I'm going to be crapping myself. So yes, I've had it long for all that time. And so because I'm doing so much of the new work now, and that's where we're stepping into, this is really symbolic, right? It's symbolic of where I was, and it's symbolic to let it go so that I can be more of the new person. Well, it's just an energetic ending to that, because I can't do hairdressing anymore. I can't do any of those things. So now that I can't do it, I love the new field that I've taken into, and the coaching and the retreats and all of that sort of stuff. So this is so symbolic of my whole entire life. The last 20 years I've been with this company, I have had, like the businesses that I've owned, I have had long hair. So now it is the time to cut this puppy off. And tomorrow will be the day that I am getting rid of my attachment to my hair. But literally, like, my hair is like, I don't even know if you can see it. It's like here's my waist. It's past my waist, you know. It's so long. It literally keeps me warm. Like, I don't need a jumper a lot of the time because my hair is like a cuddle. It literally cuddles me and keeps me warm. I don't need a scarf because it's like keeping me warm all the time, right? And so my question to you is, what is your attachment? What is it? That there's something that you might love, or it might be a relationship. Like, I know that I was talking about this to somebody yesterday that have a pet and they don't know whether to put it down, even though the pet is in so much pain and it's like lived way longer than it ever should have, and it's got cancer and all that sort of things. It's like, whoa, what are we holding on to? And I believe in absolutely life and everything like that. Or maybe it's a relationship that, you know, and it doesn't mean necessarily an intimate partner. It could be an intimate partner, but it could be a friend or something like that that isn't serving you. Think about what smoking. Yeah, I've been there. Got rid of the smoking, got rid of the coffee, got rid of the drugs, got rid of all of the things. Like, it's literally one thing at a time that keeps us on this path of releasing, and then allowing for these new things to come through, right? So even last year when I was going to, when I went to Peru to start like dieting with the plants and working with a new lineage of medicine over there, I was going over there to do some deep inner work with some shamans, like the best shaman in Peru, who lives at the top of this mountain that you have to trek up, and then you go through like a national park that's like got wild cats there, and you literally have to walk through the park, and then he's at the top of the hill and top of this mountain, and you start sitting with the medicine every day for a period of time. So I was going to Peru for like up to 2 months last year, and to work with these shamans. And I literally did the first lot of medicine work with our first shaman, our first teacher there. And then the 2 days before we were going to climb up this mountain, I literally had a car accident and smashed up all my arm, and like broke my arm in 15 places, shattered my elbow into like 30 pieces. And I didn't know, and because I loved to meditate at that time, like I literally fell out of this vehicle, smashed it all up, and then I didn't know that had happened. And there was lots of beautiful native women around me who couldn't speak English. I don't speak Spanish, and I literally I smashed into a concrete wall and shattered it all. And then when I came to, they were like, relax, relax, relax. And I am really good at relaxing, like so good. And I had a lot of, I guess, adrenaline in me. So I literally started meditating on the side of the road, you know, like just like deep in like pure relaxation. And I didn't know for 3 weeks that I'd actually done all of that to my arm, because I went to a bush doctor and they had like the most limited, shittiest x-ray ever, and they couldn't even tell that it was that broken, right? They thought it was just like a little shatter and it like would mend and all that sort of stuff. So when I came home, they found out that it had shattered in that many places. The point of this story is I went to Peru to do this deep medicine work. I thought I was going to be there for like 2 months working with these shamans, doing all the things. It was going to be this like whole thing, but yet divine intervention came in, and I thought I was like, for 6 years, I thought I was going to be going over there and studying with these people. And so to get there, to get finally there and then have a massive accident like that and not be able to go and work with the best shaman in Peru, it was like, whoa, okay, step back. I'm controlling this too much. I have been attached to going and doing this work, going and sitting on this mountain, going into this national park with the wild cats, going and doing all of this stuff. But I wasn't ready. I was forcing it. I was attached to the outcome and I wasn't enjoying the journey. I wasn't present enough in the journey because I was just like thinking, so excited to be working with this guy. It's going to be amazing, doing all the things, you know. But divine intervention came in and I had shattered my whole arm. So I had to come home, and that literally, and before I was going, I'm like, I just want to break from my silence. I just want to break, you know. Our words are spells. We are such magical creators. We don't even realize half the time that we are creating our destiny with the words that come out of our mouth. We have so many words, and especially in the English language, that have either been classed as bad or classed as, yes, Beck, we're going to be doing the thing next week. Beck's on here. We are going to be coaches. Oh my gosh, it's this week. I haven't even booked my flights. We're going to be coaches at the Bridge and Extremes experience. I cannot fucking wait. Yes. I'm talking about non-attachment, Beck, because I'm cutting my hair off tomorrow. So yes, our words are such spells. Like I want to bring this one to your attention because this is the most amazing one that I have heard ever, right? Like everybody thinks the word, this is going to sound really offensive, but hear the story out because it's like next level crazy, right? The word cunt. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's such a taboo word. That word is actually an African priestess. I can't remember her full name because it's like a local word, but it's like kunt, right? And they've actually made that into this terrible word. And oh my gosh, don't say it, be scared of that, be scared of that. But actually they're wanting us to be scared of this amazing magic of this goddess priestess that actually allows us all to connect with source, to connect with the earth, that actually is creating freedom for us. So they have literally created a bad thing around this word when it's actually not a bad word at all. It is actually a high African priestess, goddess, that is actually helping to enhance our gifts and actually helping us to raise our frequency and our vibration. Like, whoa, what the fuck? Like all these words actually have so much more meaning, and the things that half the time we think are really bad aren't, and half the times the things that we are just like slipped into the language that we think are absolutely fine aren't. Like I've had a few people say this to me like over the last week, oh, that's such a shame, that's such a shame, that's such a shame. And every time that comes out of the mouth, that's literally a projection of guilt and shame going straight into that person. So we want to be like cautious of the words that we're using. We don't want to be using words like that. We'd be changing that into pity. Oh, that's a pity, not shaming the person. So there is so much in our language, there is so much in our worlds that we haven't actually been trained on, and is literally, thank you Scott, is literally magic. So words are so important. So that's why it's really amazing to come back to, and like the things that we, like what we're creating out of our mouth, these spells, we want to be making sure that we're actually in alignment with what comes out of our mouth, not falling back into old programs or anything like that of what our parents said, or what's, you know, like things that people say, like common slurs within our language, or sayings that we just end up saying that aren't actually what's really true and aligned with our soul. They just come out, and they are the ones that we actually really need to be careful of, because they are generally the ones that are causing bad karma, bad projections or spells onto the other person, and in turn causing damage to our energetic field as well. So it's really important that we start to master wordsmith and what we are projecting out there, and those words that we're saying within our mind that are causing certain things to happen, like the breaks in the arm. But P.S., it was the best fucking break of my life, so I don't even think it was a bad thing. There is so much good stuff that has come from me shattering my arm. I cannot even tell you. Oh my gosh, such good stuff has come from it. So it actually wasn't that bad, and it was totally in my organic timeline for that to happen. And it was way more medicine than going and sitting up with that shaman at the top of the mountain. It was so much more, because I actually did 10 days of a retreat and got to sit with the shamans and started to work with those medicines more in depth and more on a really beautiful land as well. But then when I came home, I had like a few months off work, and I really got connected to the ancestors in my home. And I had never, like when I was first found this home, I had never even been to this suburb before. I literally just drove down the road by accident because I was going to look at a suburb like before this one, and I literally drove down the road, and I was like, holy shit, this place, the energy, it was like calling me, this energy, right? And so I literally drove down the road, because there's like one main road that comes down here, and I looked up at this exact apartment. I was like, fuck, I would love to live there. It wasn't for lease, it wasn't anything like that. And then I turned around and went back to meet the agent at the suburb prior to this one that I had missed, and went and met up with her, and then had a conversation with her. I was like, oh my gosh, like that area is called Coogee. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I want to live in Coogee anymore. I don't think I want to live in the next suburb. It's fucking amazing. And she was like, funny you say that. I have an apartment that's going for lease at the end of the week. I've actually got the keys. Do you want to come and have a quick look? And I was like, fuck yes. And it was literally this fucking apartment that I'm in. So never underestimate the power of the call, but never underestimate your visions as well. Like I had visioned looking out of a balcony onto a beach like this for quite a while prior to this one, when I used to live in Vaucluse on the cliff face, and that was like, I was really magic there. That's like an energy vortex, and my was really on fire, way different to how it is now, right? Because I'm an earth worker, so depending on my environment where I'm at will depend on what's going on for me. So the same with that one. I hadn't ever thought of living in that area, walked into this apartment, I'm like, we'll take it straight away. And it's just like, because I'd started visioning it prior to living there. Sometimes it might be 6 months before, sometimes it might be a year, sometimes it might be 2 years, but then when it aligns, it's fucking magic. Oh my gosh, Dwayne, if you are still on this thing, remember that place that we fucking lived in Vaucluse? Pooh, we literally, me and Dwayne went and looked at it. We walked in the front door, I was like, we'll take it. She's like, don't you want to look at the bedrooms? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. It was fucking, I was in love with it. So in love with it, which Dwayne remembers, because we used to, that was the best fun times, going and ninjaing, looking at, we would pretend we were in that like game where you go and like going around to different countries and like looking at places and stuff. That's what we used to do. We had to look at apartments that were for lease. It was the absolute best. We had so much fun. Anyway, I lost my shit there and went crazy and got really super spiritual. That's, if you probably remember that as well, Dwayne. Anyway, so the whole point is like, yes, our words are our spells, and so really know how magical they are, and also what we want to create or what we want to bring in. Just start visioning it in your mind. Start to see it. Once your brain starts to vision you in a certain place, once you see yourself in a certain place, that's when the magic really starts to happen. Because as soon as it becomes like a reality in your brain and your brain starts to see it, then I'm not sure if this is actually a fact, but it's like a Blythe fact right now. Once your brain has started to envision it and picture you in it, then it doesn't know the difference between real or not real, and it starts to create a world around that. So you can literally start to create your new world within your mind by picturing yourself in certain places, starting to bring those visions really in. So it's like the epicest, that is totally a word as well, the epicest thing that you can do for creating, manifesting your future and your visions and all of those sort of things. But bringing it right back, aligning ninja, is bringing it all back to attachment. once you have the visions, once you have all of those things, you've got to be freaking stealth and then not be attached to it and let it go. Literally, like if you've created something, you've been visioning it for a while, you bring it into your field, then like maybe you have a vision board or something like that. A lot of people will say, and this has happened to me, oh my gosh, everything on my vision board didn't work out. Well, it's probably because you were too attached to it. You look at it every day, yeah, I want these visions, I want these things to come true. So you literally, the best thing would be after a while of looking at it, then to burn it the fuck up. Hey, Ronnie, then to burn it the fuck up so that you can literally actually go, yes, universe, it's all in there. I trust, I have faith now, and I'm not attached to it. And as soon as you let the attachment go, then the miracles start to happen. So it's about visioning it for a while, and once it's fully in your realm and in all of your spheres and all of your energetic fields and in every layer of all the layers, then you let it go and the universe will start to create for you. So that is an amazing thing for attachment. But so my hair, when I was a child, I was when I was a child, I was the biggest tomboy, like the eldest of 4 kids. My dad wanted a son, and so he got a son. Let me tell you, he fucking got a son. He literally got a son. I was the biggest tomboy. I didn't have any dolls. I had Tonka trucks. I had Transformers. We went camping. We went fishing. We hung out in the bush. We did all of the boy stuff. We had a bike gang in our street. I was like the head of the bike gang because I was the oldest kid. And all of my visions were literally I remember everybody's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I want to run away. That was what I wanted to do when I grew up. They're like, what? I'm like, as soon as I'm 16, I'm running away. That was my whole vision of life, just running away. It's not even a thing. It's fucking ridiculous because I wasn't allowed to be a park ranger because my mum thought I would grow up being a massive lesbian. And so she didn't want me to do that, even though, yeah, that was her just way of being a psychotic bitch. But the point is that my brother and sister are gay, so she literally brought that in because she was manifesting it all the time. So fuck, you just never know what you're gonna get. But literally, so that was my vision, and that was what I was bringing in. And so I was the biggest tomboy in the whole entire world. Always had really short hair and was really just boyish because I was hanging out with boys and my dad all the shit all the time. Hey Haley, oh my gosh, it's been 20 years since I've seen you, legit. Haley, I'm cutting my hair off tomorrow because I'm super attached to it. Anyway, so this story. So when I was really young, I, because I was such a tomboy, I used to actually hate the pictures of myself when I would go into my house or when I'd bring somebody over to my house. I'd hide them or I'd tell them that they were my brother because I looked quite like a boy because I didn't give a shit. And so then when I started to grow my hair when I was a teenager, that's what everybody, my attachment to my hair is, that's when people are like, oh my gosh, your hair's so beautiful, it's so feminine, that's what makes you look like a girl because you're really masculine. And I was like, whoa, okay, I have to keep my long hair because without it, I'm like a boy. But I'm not actually a boy, I'm a girl, so I need to keep my hair. And everybody would totally tell me yes, that's what makes you beautiful, that's what makes you pretty, blah, 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 blah. Because in my family, my sisters are so gorgeous. I don't think that I'm not gorgeous, but my sisters are so dolly and girly and into all the things. And they used to do photo shoots and be these ones and all that sort of shit and kid models and all that sort of stuff. And then there was me who just wanted to be in the dirt all day and climb trees and shit. Obviously I had more joy, but that's beside the point. Anyway, hey Jammer! Oh my gosh, this is a fucking ride recommunion. My gosh, it's amazing. Communion. I meant to say those things that start with R. Reunion, that's the one. So yes, so that's why I have so much attachment to this hair because literally and I didn't realize this until last week when my coach actually said to me, we were talking about something, we were talking about business, doing all the things, all the amazing stuff. It's yeah, fuck, we're on fire. And then all of a sudden it just dropped in for her because she's a channel as well. She was like, you got to cut your hair. And I was like, yes, I do. Oh my gosh, I totally do. I'm so attached to my hair. Yes, I would totally do this. Didn't even think anything bad of it. It was yeah, this is amazing, rah, rah, doing all the stuff. 2 days later, I went and did this amazing earth activation down at my beach and was sitting with my feet in the sand and just really tuning in. And then all of a sudden, bam, I was like, holy shit, all these downloads came about my hair. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't cut off my hair. That's what makes me pretty. Oh my gosh, and this stuff. It's like all these programs were coming to the forefront, right? And because I'm working with a really strong medicine at the moment, like everything is right there, all these things. So it makes total fucking sense. Jace, I'm cutting my hair off. It makes total fucking sense that all of these things are coming up because it's my final attachment. It's the final countdown within my life. Don't you love that song? It is my final countdown to my last attachment that I'm absolutely in love with and absolutely adore. So it has been there through everything, and tomorrow is the day. It literally is getting chippity chop chop, getting it all cut off. Yes, literally getting it all cut off to end that attachment, because when you love something so much and you hold on to it with all your might and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't let it go. I love it so much. I can't let it go. I can't let it go. Like, you're not actually allowing the space for the universe to go, you know what? She's way too attached to that. She's not ready for this next thing. I'm like, whoa, universe, I'm ready. Universe, I'm fucking ready. Let's do this. Let's fucking play. So literally tomorrow, I am getting the courage. I am doing the things, cutting the hair off, letting that attachment go so that I can really bring to the forefront and let that identity die. Because identities are just a construct of our mind and our environment and society that fucking traps us, right? So once we can start to break down these identities, break down the surface layer stuff, literally peel away the skin and be the true authentic essence that we are, then that's when fucking game changes, right? Hey Kurt, I'm cutting my hair off. So that's when the fucking game changes. Literally peel away the layers, let the authenticity through, and it just shatters everything. Like your whole being doesn't know what to do. Your whole being starts to like break down. The identity shifts, everything shifts, and then everything is like nothing. Everything can be recreated from scratch. You get to start again and you get to design it all for yourself. So that is the most amazing thing. Hey Jared! That is the most amazing thing. I'm cutting my hair off to get rid of attachment, even though it is like the greatest love of my life. But you would understand, brother, that in order for new things to happen, you need to shift that energy. So I am literally breaking down my identity, the last layer of my identity that's left, and has attachment to these businesses that I can't work in anymore. So, which is great. It's all a good thing. It's all a great thing. But this is really testing my spirit, right? This is really testing spirit in general. And when I think it, like when I'm talking about it, it's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I think about it and I drop in, and literally like my body is having a bit of a bit of anxiety. Like I'm like, body, it's okay. It's just our hair. But it's an attachment of us. Like I said, the ancestors, the Native Americans, it is literally our DNA. It is what connects us to source. It is what connects us to star beings. It is our tentacles. That's why you don't cut it, so that you are always more connected. So when I was told that, I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be less connected to spirit. I'm going to be less connected to the star beings. What if my clairvoyancy and all my gifts just end? And that's the thing. You've got to be willing to step in. And like that just proves my attachments to so many things. I was like, holy shit, this is just even though it's just hair, it's so much more than that. You could go so deep into the layers, right? But it's literally like all of these things that are actually connected to my hair. They are things that I absolutely love and adore. But who the fuck am I to think that that is what connects me with source? Like source comes through all of us, right? And what if that is actually like a slight block in even more connection, because that's like a certain connection, you know, and it might be a messy connection because my hair's probably about 7 years old. So it literally has got that much memory stored in it, right? So once you start to get rid of that memory, not get rid of the memory, but end the contract with that memory, then new things can come through. So that's why I'm just really have to fucking do it, because it's like there's so many layers to hair, so many layers, right? Well, actually there's only 3. Being a ex-hairdresser, I know there's actually only 3 layers, but like the hair's got all these other layers around it as well. So it's just like, all this stuff going on. So again, I ask you, what is it that you're attached to that you super fucking love that might be causing some sort of blockage in your body? And if you were able to release that attachment, what could be on the other side of that? You know, like what could be on the other side of that? And I coach a lot of women in relationships, and some men, but more women. And a lot of them are holding on to relationships that aren't serving them or aren't in alignment, or like, especially when people just get into it, well, like they're not in a long-term relationship, but they've been there for a short amount of time, and it's always like, oh, you know, once he does this and he changes this, it's like you're attached to a fantasy that isn't that person. And this is what breaks my heart in relationships. Not really breaks my heart's really good, but this is what like fucks with people's brain, and really what, hey Abbey, and really is what, like, oh my gosh, like, be in love with that person. Give that person the opportunity to be themselves, not for them to step into the person that you want them to be, because that is just you creating a mask for that person. Once you really get their masks out of the way and be their true essence of themselves, then you can actually come in with curiosity every day and see and witness people and all the multidimensional layers of their being, because we are so fucking multidimensional. And if you don't like one person, like one part about a person, fuck, how many parts of yourself don't you like? I had a few, that's for sure. So there's like you know, like everything is so multi-layered. And so once we start getting rid of the attachments to one certain thing, like there could be like, I don't like that little thing about that person. It's like, that person's probably got 50,000 layers. And if you don't like one little thing, man, that to me is love. Because like, just, you know, shift it onto the 29,000 things that you love, rather than that itty bitty little thing, oh, they've got a funny toe. Like, come on, what? Like, look past that and feel the essence of that human, because the essence in everybody is love. It's the same love within us that is within other people, you know, like namaste, the light within me sees and honors the light within you. Ahau matakuyasan, like we are everything, you know. All of these sayings, all the natives had is because we are one, we are the same, we are all super connected, you know. And so that's when it's really just letting go of these little attachments and celebrating the things that are scary. Because I was talking about this, I don't know when I was talking about this, I was talking about the stuff, but like, think about it, we get so scared of doing certain things. We get so scared, hey Gabby, we get so scared of doing certain things. Like we have these fears around stuff. And like we get so like nervous around things, and like when I think about, oh my gosh, I can't do the thing, oh my gosh, I'm so like nervous, oh my god, I'm scared and fearful, and then it's like, what's excited? What's the emotions and the feelings behind excited? It's like the same as fear. Okay, so like maybe we've been trained to think like, oh my gosh, don't do anything fearful, but actually what we're really feeling is fucking excited. And that is what has come up a lot lately. Like a lot of people that I have been doing workshops with, all of those sort of things, what I'm witnessing within the groups of people that are attending this is people are so fucking scared to be amazing. They're more scared of being amazing than they are of failure. And this is just what pops up all the fucking time. It's like, whoa, we have been so programmed to not allow ourselves to be amazing. And I spoke about this yesterday, but like in this voice liberation class, it was literally everybody singing, going around in the room, and like 18 out of 20 people, like they sang, well, everybody sang beautifully, but 18 people within that room like sang and were like, oh my gosh, no, I can't, I can't, that wasn't good. It's like, oh my gosh, you sound like a fucking angel. Like, legit. Like, you were so in tune and so aligned right now. But they were so scared of being great. We have been so programmed to go, oh, no, I can't be great. Oh my gosh, like, literally, I see what's happening in that moment. Our primitive brain is kicking in, and we think that and so, like, our primitive brain obviously is the reptilian part of our brain at the back that doesn't want us to die. Its literally only job is to make us survive, right? So it kicks in and goes, oh my gosh, the tribe's going to reject me, because it's primitive, right? And so back in the day, when if you were rejected by the tribe, you would die because you didn't have all of the community around you. You'd be completely isolated in the wild, and you'd probably get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or a bear or a wolf or like a crocodile or something, you know? So that's what's happening. Our primitive brain is literally kicking in because of some trauma that has gone on. All the messages, because of some trauma that has gone on, and is literally taking us out of our body, taking us out of like our being, our mind, and like the back of our brain is kicking in and just going, shut down, oh my God, can't be amazing, you guys are going to reject me. And I have literally, like, I don't know if this has happened with you as well, I have literally had this where like being successful and being like creating my own wealth really young, and this has happened a few times. So like creating my own wealth really young, like I was an entrepreneur at 12. I had like really successful business by 25. Well, I had lots of businesses, but I like had my first $1 million business by 25, 26, right? So it was very interesting what came up around that. Like I never forget one time I went out for dinner with my family, and we went out and was like having a whole motherfucking feast, and like we literally got the bill, and I'm a 25-year-old girl, right? My whole family's there, and then everybody looked at me to pay the bill, and I was like, okay, yeah, of course I'm gonna pay the bill. But then it happened again and again and again and again and again, and then it was an expectation, right? And then I was like, oh my gosh, my tribe's rejecting me. Like subconsciously I'm like, oh my gosh, my tribe's rejecting me, blah 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 blah. And then, you know, like certain friends started to like take advantage of you, and then certain like people around you, like we used to go out and party and take drugs, didn't we? Fucking Kurt. Hell yes, way too much. It was never too much, was it? It was never too much. And we'd go out and party and buy a shit ton of drugs and like literally just keep giving like everything away, because I'd want everybody to be as like high as me all the time so that we could always be in this thing. So then subconsciously what sort of happened is, and when I started to really, like a few years later, when I like my identity started to shift and everything started to change, and I started to come a lot more online, then the wealth started to go, oh my gosh, I'm actually being rejected from tribe a bit here. And subconsciously then the brain kicks in like at an unconscious level, and then the wealth starts to like go down, you know? So that is super fucking interesting, how amazing our subconscious is and how creative it is, and how our primitive brain kicks in and can create like realities for us when we're not super in manifesting mode and visioning and all the stuff. So then from there, like had a little breakdown, and like not breakdown, but like the money sort of changed and shift, and then like became aware about it again, and then like grew it again and all that sort of stuff, and then like had multiple businesses instead of the one business and all of the sort of things. So it's amazing how attachments and how manifesting and all of these things create our reality, whether it's conscious or subconscious, we're creating on a whole nother level. So it is super amazing. And if a lot of people say, you know, like the monkey mind, I remember what that used to be like, having the monkey mind, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes if I'm not in nature enough, or if I haven't meditated, which is like rarely, like if I have to go and do like deep earthwork somewhere and we're doing like earthwork and not in alignment, blah, blah, blah. But like it rarely happens, right? But being an empath as well, so that means that it's like being a clairvoyant, but you tune into other people, what they're feeling and all that sort of stuff all the time. So like tuning into somebody else and just like literally it feels like this, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on in the brain, my God, I can't even deal with it, blah 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, okay, just learning to calm that back down, slow it all down. So I went on a tangent because I was going to talk about something else, and then this just sort of came up. So that is literally the work that we do now. So I was with one of my spiritual brothers, not really, like one of my best mates, Pat, today, and we are running retreats next year. And it is so fucking exciting because he's like the calm man version of me and like an earth worker as well, and super tuned in and connected. So we're starting to run retreats next year, one every 2 months, and on energy vortexes around the earth, to really align people with their soul mission so that they can get out of this and just drop in And so that just goes. So that's what we teach people how to do, so that you don't need to go and do ayahuasca, you don't need to do iboga, you don't need to go and do all these plant medicines. And then, I mean, they're great. And I take plant medicine. I literally work with amazing shamans around the world, and so does Pat. But we want to be able to create a different program for people so that they don't have to go and do all these medicines and have accidents and have all this trauma come on just to fast track their growth, their spiritual growth, or their mental, emotional, whatever the growth is, because you can do the exact same activations with the earth. And that's what we do. Like Pat and I literally, like, he's over not that far from me, he's over in Bronte, but he's going to do like earth work in Bali. I'm going to go and do some other work in another place and all that sort of stuff. And I'm on a 3-month journey with a certain plant at the moment. But the whole point is that we take people out into nature and we help them to get out of their monkey mind, to peel away the things that are entrapping them and that are not for their highest and greatest good, and allow them to tune in with their core essence of their being, so that they can be more, I don't want to say in control, but it's legit in control. They can be more in alignment with source and spirit and all of the thing, or whatever it is the fuck you believe in. It doesn't matter if it's God, Buddha, Allah, if you believe in leaves, or if you believe in like elephants, whatever it is, like whatever it is that you align with, we help you to align with that through the earth. Because at certain energy vortexes around the world, they all hold a certain frequency. They're on ley lines, which are energy vortexes. And so on these ley lines, there's generally a lot of energy, and it's like a high vibe sort of thing. So instead of working with plants, we take you to somewhere where there is a high vibration or energetic field, and then we do certain activations like land activations. And what we're actually doing is the most simple stuff to us. It's like literally the most simple things. It's just about learning to be calm and still, connect. And so there's like body work, which means like a bit of qigong, so like literally in Mexico, when we take people to Mexico, this place, there's like pyramids, like the ruins there from the Mayans, right? So we take people on a hike around, like, and then go up into the pyramid, and we do like a sound healing on the pyramid, and we'll do some qigong and help people to get into their body. And what we are literally doing is activating people's light body and helping them get back into their body. Because once you get out of the constructs of these programs of your mind that aren't even yours, that are from society and from your parents' line, then you can drop into the true essence of who you are. I cannot even explain what that feels like, but I'll try. It's like creating heaven on earth within your body, right? Because everybody's like, and I saw one of my friends get a tattoo the other day on the back of their head, like an old friend that I haven't seen in a long time, get on the back of his head like, I'm not from here, or earth is not my home. And I was like, oh, brother. Oh, just that feeling, that disconnection. I remember I used to be like that too, like feeling that, and not that that's wrong or bad or anything like that. It was just such a big awakening memory for me, where it was like feeling so disconnected from my body. I remember, like, I used to say, fuck, my body's doing this thing, I can't believe my body's doing this, oh my gosh, my body is, like, I'm sick, I'm so disconnected from my body, like, I wish I had a different body, all the stuff, you know. And then since being able to like have all the awakenings and do all the work that we've been doing, like the earth work, the plant work, the deep inner personal development sort of work, the business work on all the sort of levels, then you actually can start to communicate with your body. That is a vessel, and you were put in that body for a certain reason, because it is so much, it's perfect for your spiritual growth, your energetic growth, whatever it is that you believe in, your higher self growth, your whatever it is, right? Personal development, whatever, they're all the same things, just different words depending on how you were brought up and what's not triggering you. And whatever triggers you is that part of yourself that you aren't willing to look at. So let's look at our triggers. It's just about getting honest, dealing with the traumas, dealing with the things that keep us stuck, miserable, scared, fearful, all those sort of things. So that's literally what we're doing next year. We will be going to Vanuatu. We will be going, because there's an energy vortex there, like, there's a shark man, this guy that walks down on the bottom of the ocean and like does these things with these rocks, and all these sharks come. We won't be with the sharks, Pat probably will, but I will be thinking about that again. Then we're also going to be going to this ancient land of Papua New Guinea, because they have got the most amazing magical powers. And if anybody's been to PNG, you know what magic the locals have got. Their natural medicine, which is like, it's not a plant medicine, it's literally like connecting to the earth. Like these people connect to the earth, to the elements, earth, fire, wind, water. It sounds like Captain Planet. Oh my gosh, it's Captain Planet. So that's literally what we do. We connect with the elements in certain areas, and it literally activates your body, activates your light body, but also brings you from out of your mind back into your body, so that you can be connected to spirit, so that you can be connected to spirit, connected to who you really are on all the levels, so that you don't have that disconnect from feeling unworthy, from feeling like you have the disconnect from those things, because those are the things that are entrapping within your mind. And so that's what we'll be doing. Where's another place that we were going to be going? Oh yeah, we'll be going to obviously Uluru. So we'll have a few retreats, and we're just deciding which one it is that we are going to do in February. We think it's going to be Mexico, because that would be pretty epic. And then we'll also be having, I think it was the 7th of December, we're going to take people out into the bush in Australia, not far from, like in just outskirts of Sydney, to this beautiful bush where there's like waterfalls and all that sort of stuff, just to start to connect people back into land, to start doing like this sort of work where you're connecting with the elements, so that you don't need all the plant medicines all the time. But the difference with the work that we're doing, because what we've found with our friends and with a lot of people that go away to do the medicine, is there isn't an integration process afterwards. They are given all this stuff, and like you can go and do all this stuff on a mountain with all these people and all the shamans and all the stuff, but then you don't know how to bring it back into reality. You literally go back into your own world, and it's like, it's actually quite overwhelming. It can be quite overwhelming. People get lost, scared, and it actually ends up not being super beneficial to their lives, right? It's the same when you go on a retreat or you go on a holiday or something and you learn something amazing, but then you haven't got the integration process afterwards to actually make it become part of your being and your vessel. So we'll go and do a retreat or go and do an amazing course, but then we're not in motion afterwards, and you like literally go to a course, get the dopamine hit, and it's boom, back to reality. Oh, that's flatlining. Go and do a course, go and do a retreat or whatever it is, and then you come back to reality, boom, and flatline again. So that's what we don't want. It's literally what we don't want. We want to be able to people to go away and get that course and then have that motion up there. Like, of course, there'll be ebbs and flows, but it won't be flatlining and you won't be by yourself. There'll be a super safe container of me and Pat that are holding you, and each week there'll be certain things that you'll be doing throughout the next 8 weeks after the retreat that we go on, and so you'll be able to integrate that into your life, and then it becomes part of your being, and it becomes part of your daily practice or rituals or whatever it is that you're doing. And each thing that each person does is individual to them, because we can't dictate to you what your gifts are or who you believe in or anything like that. We are there just as the conduits to help you connect at a deeper level of exactly who you are and who you want to connect with. And it's all pure, clean, not with all the medicine and all of that sort of stuff. It's literally just doing the work so that you can shift all the shit that's like keeping you stuck and miserable, or keeping you unfulfilled, or keeping you like just like doing all the things, everything, like, you know, those plates that go on the thing, like just trying to keep everything like on the plates, like just trying to keep the balance, and then as soon as one thing slips, then everything falls down and shatters. So we don't want it to be like that, so that when you come back home, you're supported and you can have that super great growth at the same time as having the awareness around what's going on. Because yes, it is great to go and do something, and then you get all the lessons and the learnings when you come back home, and then you're able to go into catastrophe a bit, but like it doesn't need to be that like alone and by yourself and all that sort of stuff. So that's legit the stuff that we'll be doing next year. Can't fucking wait, I can tell you. So this was all about me cutting my hair, and I went into a tangent because I was super excited about that. So yes, tomorrow I will be cutting my hair off, and I will be getting rid of that attachment it is my sacrifice. That is my sacrifice to myself. And I don't know whether I'm going to burn it or bury it or put it out to sea. I haven't decided yet, but there'll be some sort of ceremony to release that energy and to give gratitude for all of this hair, because it has literally kept me warm and been my cuddle every single night for the last 20 years, even though I had boyfriends. But this was warmer. And so that is literally my day tomorrow. And I am nervous, which is excited. And I'm still wondering, what is it that you guys are attached to? What is it that you're like not really willing to let go of that could possibly be preventing the most amazing thing in your life? So think about the things that you're attached to, and then think about the things that you really want to call into your life. Because once you start to think about your own personal attachments and really what you want to bring into your life, see if there is some connection there. Because what you might notice is there is actually some weird, abstract connection between your attachment and what you want to manifest. And once you might be able to see how they could possibly connect, then it makes it so much easier to go, oh wow, I really actually want to manifest this more than I want my attachment. And then you start to get that out of your energetic field, and boom, a flower, a rose, whatever can be born, you know? So that if you take anything away from this, think about what it is that you're attached to. Think about the areas in your life that aren't in full alignment with your soul. And if you can't nurture, and I would always say the first thing is nurture everything, especially relationships. I see way too often people just going, no, I'm getting out of the relationship. I'm just going to get out because like it's too hard. It's not aligned, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. It's like, you know what? You're in love with that person, and the essence within that person is still beautiful. So I would always say with a relationship, give it a go. If it's a long-term relationship, if it's been like 2 weeks, yeah, just whatever, you know. But like if it's a long-term relationship, then give it a go. Really tune in with that person and see what it is, and ask them like how you can actually be in service for the love within your relationship, right? How you can do like amazing things for that person, and have conversations where it's like, honey, I love you so much. I really would love our relationship to go to that next level, or back to where it was, or whatever it is that's going on in your world. What is it that I could do what is it that I could do that would help you drop into your love more, so that we could have a more, like even more love within our relationship? That sort of stuff, you know? So have the conversations like that. Read that book, Love Languages. I haven't read it yet, but it's okay. So do that sort of stuff. Do those sort of things with your partners. Create sacred spaces together. Do deep inner work. If you can do it together, amazing. If you can't, don't worry. They'll still get the benefits from it, because you will be radiating at another level. And that no matter what, when you're next to that person or with that person, their vibration will come up. And it's up to you to, rather than dropping back down, the vibration back down to where you were, it's about nurturing and loving that person and supporting them, so that they unconsciously will actually come and their vibration and frequency will raise. Because that's what we want to do. Everybody on earth, not everybody, a lot of people on earth, everybody behind all their cultural programming and all their traumas and all the PTSD and all the other things that are going on, everybody does want to feel loved and happy and all of those things. And so if we can all help each other, like Jared, yes brother, we rise together. Like together we rise in this world. So it's all about rising our frequency, and then having like supporting all the people around us, so that everybody's frequency can be rising together, and then that ripples and resonates across the world, and then that's when everybody gets happy and we live in an amazing place. Because at the moment, I'm sure you're all feeling it, like everything's fucking changing so much in the world for the better, right? So it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. People are stepping in, people are stepping up, people are stepping out. All these sort of things are going on, and it's absolutely perfect. And it's right at the most pivotal time to do the work, to do this stuff, and everything will really shift. And that's why we're so fucking excited to have these retreats next year. Like the one in Vanuatu, we're going to be climbing, like there's lots of locals there that we're connected with. So literally we'll be climbing to the top of an active volcano, because they're super connected to the earth over there, and we'll be doing some like ceremonies around this volcano, like they've been doing for who fucking knows how long. Like I've forgotten, that's why, but it's like tens of thousands of years they've been doing these ceremonies with like the elements. And that's what we want to do, because this stuff is fucking medicine. To be able to like, oh my gosh, that's what I should do. I should save my hair and throw it into the volcano. But I can't wait that long. It needs to have a ceremony before that. But do you know what I mean? Like to be able to take these attachments or representations of these attachments and then going and burning it in a fucking active volcano. Like, come on, people. This is like too good. It's like a fucking movie. So literally all the retreats that we'll be doing next year are like movies. It's just like, we cannot even believe the stuff that we will be doing. Like we can, because we visioned it. Like we were chatting about this today. It was so cool, because when I used to want to be a park ranger and my mum was like, no. Before that, I actually used to get visions of this work. I'm 38, so I'll be starting this when I'm 39. But I got visions of this when I was 6. Like, it's ridiculous. And like Pat, the guy that I'm going to be doing with, like, he was the visions as well. He's been my friend for 5 years, but it just all like was at the back. And now that I've started to do, like, I'm really working with a plant at the moment that gets rid of all of the stuff. Like, it's a lobotomy in the brain. So it's not really, sort of. So if you know anything about plant medicine, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's not Aya. So yes, it's allowed these memories to come back of these visions that I've had, and it's just been so freaking magical. And then we're going to Papua New Guinea because my grandfather actually had a cacao and a coconut plantation over there. So we need to, for my family line as well, go and meet up with some of the tribes over there. And we're on the part of the, the country over there where it's super safe and it's beautiful, and Pat's been to that part and he's got connections over there. So we'll be going there and working with like the locals there. So that's what we're doing in each energy vortex around the world. We are literally going to be spending time with the locals and working with the elements and learning and really connecting in to all these memories. And see, that's the thing that's so beautiful about this. As me and Pat were talking about it today, we went and had a kayak, we were out in the water. He did like some amazing body work on me because he's like, woo, like, I've never met anybody super connected to the earth like him. We had a ceremony, and then all of these visions started to come back. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, whoa. And I was talking to him and he was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've like. So it's, everything is just perfect alignment, right? And it's just so freaking beautiful. So we're still deciding where the February retreat will be, but I'll keep you posted on that. So yeah, it is just, oh my gosh, it's everything amazing. Gone on too many tangents, and I'm so excited that I couldn't, like, I've literally forgotten what I was talking about. But I hope that you have gotten some bits of like goodness through this thing of me just like ranting about all of the things. What is it that you're attached to? What is it that you're attached to? Start to look within your life and see the little parts of things that like are actually like keyholes to your amazingness. And that's what we'll be doing. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I was talking about. So when you go to these energy vortexes, because it's super high vibe, like everything just like in your anatomy, in your body, everything just starts to shift. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anybody. You don't have to worry about your identity. Things just start to shift, and then your body just naturally starts to release things, and your mind starts to let things go, but in a beautiful way where it's supportive, not in a way where you need to go and do something and it's like traumatic. It's actually beautiful. It's like, oh, that's that thing. Oh my gosh, that's that thing. Okay, I understand that thing, and that's why that was blocked there. And then now my body started to release that. Okay, amazing. And then the goodies come, you know? So that is what it is all about. So back to it again. What is it you're attached to? What is it? I haven't had one person message what they're attached to. That's amazing, because there was a few people on here. And that's all good too, because I know that when you're not thinking about it, or when you don't want to think about it, or when it's like not in your realm to think about right now, like probably cooking dinner or some shit, you know, like then that's cool. But like the attachments, the blockages, your hair too, Scott. Yeah, amazing. You should cut it with me tomorrow. Let's do it, brother. But literally, once we start to release these attachments, these are the loophole, like these are the locks to the doorway to freedom. And that's what it's all about at the moment. It's about unlocking and experiencing more liberation and freedom, so that you can have more joy, happiness, and be the full expression of yourself within life, so that you don't need to do any, like, so that we don't need to be doing so much work. I feel like gosh, I could talk forever. But like, I feel like a lot of the people that have been going and doing a lot of the plant medicine, which is myself included, all of those sort of things, I feel like that's super needed still, right, for this time. But I feel like a lot of people have been activated in that enough that now it is actually not even about that, because everything is stepping stones to where we are going on this spiritual journey called life, right? And I feel that a lot of people have been activated in that way, and we've been activated enough now and connected to the earth enough to be able to get people to come straight and connect with the earth without needing all of the medicine. And that's what it's about, because we don't want to have crutches all the time to things. Hang out. We don't want to have crutches or the things that we rely on. We want to be able to be stealth in our mindset and in our bodies so that we can automatically align with the elements, with the earth, with all that sort of stuff, so that we can self-heal and self-regulate like that. You know, as soon as something comes up, we start to get the messages and get the downloads and the understanding around it straight away, right? So that's what it's all about. So did I say it again? That's what it's all about. So I hope, on that, I'm cutting my hair off tomorrow. Literally like up to here, babe. Like cutting all that much off, because I'm super attached to it and I have to let it go. It's like craziness. I'm like, whoa. Anyway, so I hope that you start to think about your attachment and how it could possibly be the keyhole, the gateway, possibly the block to where it is that you want to be going, to where it is to whatever, and start to think about that. So think about what it is that you're attached to, what you would like to manifest. Remember that your words are spells, so create them super beautifully. And remember, if you're starting to get monkey mind in your brain, all you need to do is legit start talking to yourself in your mind. People are like, don't talk to yourself, you're crazy. They told us that because they didn't want us to be in control of our mind, and they wanted us to have monkey mind all the time. So once you start to literally talk to yourself and feel like a crazy person and just say a mantra, it could be, what would be a mantra? You know, I'm just trying to think of the mantra that I have, some of the mantras that I have in the book that I will be releasing soon, which I created 10 years ago, so it's like not a bigger deal. But literally, like, a mantra might be, I am love and light in every moment. I am love and light in every moment. I am love and light in every moment. It might be, like, if somebody's being a C word to you, it might be, hey Adrian or Isabella, I love you. If somebody is being like a cunt to you, which I've said before, I'm going to say this again. Did you know that the word cunt isn't actually a bad word? It actually comes from the African priestess, the goddess, which was for liberation and all of those things. And they didn't want anybody to connect with her because she would liberate people. So, yeah, she would literally liberate people and help them connect and heal and all of the stuff. So they made everybody think that cunt was a bad word, but it's actually not. It is a liberation, right? It is connection to goddess. And like spells, right? They're creating these spells that keep us trapped. But if we can all just, if we can all just connect into what's real, what's really aligned, and know that our spells and our words are so fucking powerful, then we can start to be conscious. Like, don't tell anybody, oh, it's such a shame, it's such a shame, it's such a shame. Do not put that projection of guilt or shame onto anybody else. Maybe pity would be a better word. Just choose our words better so that we're literally like, because things are coming out of our mouth and it's a vibration to somebody that's just there. I know I say the F word a lot, but I mean that in a fun, loving way. So that's like different. And it comes from another priestess that is actually good too. Probably not, but possibly. And so really start to own all that sort of stuff. Then, yeah, we can all just be like fully self-healing and healing everybody and doing all the things and everything will be super freaking amazing. So yes, I know I can't wait to see my hair tomorrow. I hope it gets a bit of body, but nah, you know it doesn't. So I hope you have a beautiful day, evening, night, week, month, minute, hour, rest of your life, rest of all your lifetimes, rest of whatever. And tune in to what you're attached to, and can you start to chip away, or maybe just do a little bit at a time and then go up to there. Okay, sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Transmissions of love from the heart to you, straight from the beach. Love you. Mwah.